Hello everyone, what is up? Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day. Today we're going to be talking about what is happening with XRP in the XRP community. Now in CoinMarketCap, XRP is at 28 cents. It looks like we had a small bounce. But now guys, before we jump into this, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, nor is financial advice, just entertainment value only. Crypto SS tweeted out, Charlie Ward on the financial quantum system.
New financial system and something that you said is going to happen on the 31st of August, and how is it going to affect people, average, regular people?
Well, I wanted a fanfare, I'll be honest with you, but I don't see that happening. I'm seeing it being faded in very, very gently, and so the general public will hardly notice anything happening. The banks will have a different operating system, and I noticed that Barclays Bank and Lloyds Bank have stopped sending out SWIFT codes now. They send out the IBAN, but not the SWIFT code for banking details. So that again points to what's happening. I was told from the inside they've shut down the SWIFT system on the 31st of August. I know that the new quantum financial system has been in operation since the 2nd of August. They were pinging everybody, and they've been trialing it for the whole of this month. I've been led to believe that it will become public knowledge either on the 10th or the 11th of September. That's what I've been told, because that is in the legal document that came out from the White House, which I've shared with a number of people today. It arrived in front of me at 2 o'clock this morning. So we've now got hard evidence of it, but and a lot more detail about it. But this, sorry?
Where can one see that legal document? Or is
I will send it across to you, John, so that you can attach it to this. Where I can actually add it now if you.
There we go, guys. September will be a huge month. It will look like will be potentially announced on the 19th, 11th September from the legal document released from the White House. Next week comes from Boy XRP. This is a reply to all of Brad Garlinghouse tweets. If you guys would like to pause and read all of this, but let's watch this.
About the future of cryptocurrencies, where do you see the future of these digital assets, and maybe the role of Bitcoin and Ripple or XRP in that future?
Yeah, so our view is that these digital assets really become supplemental to the existing family of currencies, right? So every country still needs its own, fiat currency for all kinds of reasons. I won't get into it. It's very complicated, right? And I actually think that the big four, the yen, the euro, the dollar, the RMB, they actually, I think, come stronger in this world that we're going into, partially because of digital assets.
Okay.
That these digital assets actually contribute to a world that's more interoperable, where more people around the globe can get access to these big four. And most of global commerce is done in the big four. So I think you have a bifurcation going on. Those big four get stronger. I think some of the smaller currencies, maybe even more of the very small fiat currencies, become less relevant, maybe even disappear. A country could have its own fiat, but still use one of the big four. You have lots of
like
examples.
Montenegro, right?
Absolutely. But I think then where the digital assets fit in, things like XRP and Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're kind of in that mid-range. They become, I think, like the Singapore dollar or the Swiss franc, and they become useful in kind of lubricating the world to make it easier for those big four to get in the hands of people all around the world. So that's useful. And then it might also be things like applications and devices that maybe primarily use one of those digital assets. So that's kind of the view we have. So I think in that world, countries should be less threatened by what's going on and see them as simply supplemental rather than a threat. Too much talk about it being a threat. Our industry has done a bad job in too much bravado and chest pounding. It's just kind of silly.
So that video was from Stephen Bull. The big four currencies, as you guys can see, will become stronger because of digital assets. Before coins to tweet out.
In light, who's come on board?
Well, it's interesting as you step back and look at this. If you and I decided we were going to send $10,000 to California today, the fastest way for us to do it would be to drive to the airport and fly it there. That's a crazy thing to think about when you're in the age of the internet and we're used to information on demand. when we think about the customers that have come on board, it's because we're solving that real problem. We're changing the nature of a payment taking days to settle to California to seconds. So we now have well over 100 customers, ranging from some of the biggest banks in the world to payment providers to the Western Unions and MoneyGrams, Linlan Pay out of China.
How many banks?
It's over 100. I actually don't know the exact number now. Last time we announced it publicly, we said over 100. We'll probably announce the next one when we get to over 200. We're signing up more than a bank a week now.
The thing is, it's not the number of banks, it's the volume
for sure
out there. What kind of volume are you looking at?
Well, we've had one that we could talk publicly about is we have one corridor run by SEB, which is one of the first or second largest bank in Sweden, has done over $1 billion USD equivalent through one corridor. So while on the global macro scale, we're still just getting started. I think we're on mile 1 of a marathon, but we've crossed that starting line. Like, this is real activity in production systems where customers are really benefiting from that. We clearly have a long way to go, and the overall maturity of the digital asset market, I think, has a long way to go. But if we keep going back to let's focus on a real problem and solve a real problem for real customers, I'm really optimistic.
You have several products. We talked about the system, RippleNet. You also have a digital token, which is the XRP. How is the XRP doing? Because we saw it surge 1,300%.
Right. So XRP actually was the best performing digital asset in 2017. It was up, I think, something like 25,000%. The excitement around digital assets is because I think you're solving a real problem. And I think one of the things you saw happen, particularly last December, is there's understandably concern about regulation and what does that mean for digital assets. From the get-go, Ripple has worked with regulators, and we have worked with regulated institutions like banks where there isn't regulatory uncertainty. And so we have found that part of the reason why XRP has performed well is because people realize, hey, wait a minute,
the best performing digital asset in 2017, which is XRP. Nice review. Ripple signed a bank a week. Be prepared for 2020. And now, guys, to the fun part of XRP and the XRP community. Now, this is quite interesting. The Ardana tweet out, Mr. Pull Drop. We can see this right here. If we go to the next tweet from PRX, another Mr. Pull Drop. The bunker so deep where it can protect it from nuclear, etc. Why do you think Mr. Pull shared with us at this time? Vojek has tweeted out, so I watched Bill and Ted tonight. These screenshots were in the movie. I'll talk a little about the movie below. I can't help but see the connections to current things I am looking into. Mr. Poole, everything is connected, as we can see. Now you guys can pause and read this right here. But if we go down, we can see Mr. Poole, and we've seen this. So it does look like things are connecting. XP Hodl will tweet out, we have an update to Bearable Guy 123's link. What do we see here? New update. If we go down the replies, new update from Bearable Guy 123. Beware of imposters and anyone who claims to be friends with the bear that the bear has never liked, tweeted, followed, or communicated it with on Twitter. Bearable Guy 123 is not one bear, not two, not three, and only posts on Twitter and are rippled. And then you guys can read the rest of this. If we go down here, as you can see, the link URL is that, hinting to Malta, I believe. Baba Cux has tweeted out this right here. I get it. Bearable Guy 123 does the opposite and reverse Bearable Guy as well. It's like yin and yang, like your display picture. You represent him and him updating that link as if you were a fraud, but you are not. So what do we think about this? We can see different dates over here. Next it comes from Valgesser, like Prism Mike points out, 79 is atomic number of gold. In Moon David says, let's go opposite of 79 degrees. And then you guys can see this. Gold standard September. As we can see, it all adds up to this. Gold is coming back by the looks of it. Gorn Gecko tweet out, update, everything's still on time. So It looks like everything's progressing and everything is still on time. The cryptic put. I have a feeling that we'll be getting some really good news from Ripple soon. Hopefully, guys. Hopefully we see some good announcement coming soon. Once again from Goring Gecko, we can see down detector right here. Problems at Cash App. Stuff has been happening recently, guys. Maintains. We can see things are being down. So what do you guys think about this? NCJ Rothschilds has tweeted out, dollar is done. Currency crisis is unfolding. It's coming. Everyone who doubted will be silenced. Baba Cooks has tweeted out a couple of things. Tomorrow begins the 1st of September. Worldwide banking systems shut down. While some systems turn off, others turn on. Keep your eyes on the prize. The final tip for today's video comes again from Baba Cooks. So much is turning on behind the scenes. What you wish is yet to come. Lives will be changed forever. The second half of phase 2 begins. 66 days at sea till phase 3. It will happen in the blink of an eye. You have been warned, as you can see right here. But who really knows what is going to happen at the end of the day. But anyways, guys, hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. If you guys did, please leave a like, subscribe if you guys haven't already. Feel free to be a member of the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day. And you guys, see ya.
This is the beginning of the greatest economic cycle this country has had since World War II. And I knew the things that Donald would do. And he hasn't even got started. But this is the eye of the motherfucking storm, the perfect storm. It ain't never going to get any better. Never. This is perfect for the QLA model. If I could have written a prescription or a formula, I couldn't have written it any better. Low interest rates, money's free, you stupid. Massive chaos. And Donald's going to rip the mother economy apart. And he's going to for practice in a good way. This is it. It ain't never going to get anything better. This is like a multiple orgasm the rest of your life, you fucking slags that are in the audience. This is it.
Sometimes I don't want to hear what Dan has to tell me. But as I wrote in one of my blogs, the old man, he's always right. Because he's telling you what you don't want to hear about yourself, but what you know is true. And that is, you're not stepping yourself up. You're not stepping your game up. And you get caught up in fear. As Dan says, false expectations appear in reality.